Somatic Archetypes by Author Renee Lindstrom of the Somatic Archetypes. The 5 Archetypes. This introduction to defining these 5 senses include both the noun and verb uses of these identifiers. It begins with the noun to describe sight, sound, smell, hearing, and touch, using a pattern that refers to conscious awareness for the intention or purpose to perceive and regain their felt sense. As a Feldenkrais practitioner, teacher, and mentor, I have explained these fantastic 5 somatic influencers as the core receptors of environmental influences that stimulate inner functional responses. These receptors are the beginning of any and every response that travels through the body, back and middle brain to the prefrontal cortex last. It happens quicker than one can track and control. The only thing that can be controlled is mental function and the information going in. Even thoughts of memories can influence and activate these 5 senses, suggesting there are internal and external sources of environmental influences. These 5 archetype patterns for functional integration of the environmental stimulus that triggers receptors are introduced below. An important point to consider is that archetypes stimulate the sensory awareness of the others pre-thought. They have their own expressive language. The artist. There's a beautiful picture of an eye with the label, the visionary. Most babies are born with the gift of sight. Sight is through the beautiful body design of vision that includes the lens that takes in the world. Artists take in the world and interpret it through their unique abilities. That was present at birth would be the experiences like meditation. Meditators have spent time and energy softening their eye habits from which to take in the world, to retrain their brains that have developed a harsh and critical focus looking at the world, a subtle yet profound shift in the quality of life. The eyes are located in the head in direct contact with the brain. The musician. There's a beautiful picture of a man singing into a microphone holding a guitar with musical notes across the photo. A musician has developed their sense of hearing in an advanced way to differentiate musical sounds and notes. The universe is filled with musical notes that formed early music perspectives. There is a belief that primordial creation began with the sound in some Eastern philosophies, such as Hinduism. This sense is as important as sight, touch, taste, and smell, a sense that may be taken for granted until it's dimmed. It inspires and motivates action. For example, music. If a piece is playing, it will either heighten moods or it will create agitation. It can even inspire movement through dance spontaneously or provoke immediate frustration and annoyance. The skill to hear vibrations is a gift that translates into the health and well-being of individuals and relationships. Sound is received through the ears that are directly connected to the brain. Sound is expressed through the mouth, yet originates from below the head in the voice box at the base of the neck in the front. The somatic. There's a beautiful picture of a hand hovering with rounded fingers over a soft blanket, and the label, the toucher. A baby will be sensitive to the somatic touch of all the textures and levels of denseness of articles and items they come in contact with. Their skin is receptive and a source of information. The hands are known to make a larger map inside the brain of neural pathways as the baby gathers this intel through touch. The skin is an organ that covers the body. As a receiver, the skin responds to what the other senses are hearing, seeing, smelling, and tasting. When these senses send signals to the brain, It sends signals to the skin that responds immediately. It happens faster than any identifying label or word in our common vocabulary to describe it. The somatic sense is at the core of function and integrates all the senses. The other senses influence one another similarly, yet the somatic sense of touch encompasses them all and is a source of awareness that can be conscious or unconscious. This is the Milky Way of our universe, responsive experience to explore and investigate. Touch encompasses the whole body through skin contact of solid surfaces and elusive unsolid influences like the wind, heat, cold, water, and emotional waves emanating from people and animals. The Perfumer. There's a beautiful picture of a woman holding a bottle of oil in a lab coat with flowers around, and the label, Scent Enthusiast. Dual activations of scent responses. Digestion. The sense of smell is a powerful activator. It is how a baby senses their mom and begins to locate their food source. The connection stimulates through life as smell is what activates the taste buds to create the ability to taste flavors. Smell will activate taste buds to taste flavors that begin the function of processing and digesting foods, even before it is put in one's mouth. It activates the stomach to receive the food with the right digestive enzymes and stimulates the organs to prepare for processing it through the gut. Digestion begins before putting food in one's mouth and chewing. Attraction. Scents create attraction that is confirmed through generations of creating special perfume scents for both males and females. Scent is a silent expression of attraction and a powerful expression for mating. The sense of smell will be one of the first unconscious expressions that will attract a person to another. This personal scent will only attract a few matches. It will not attract the general population. It is like a mother who has a connection to the scent of their child. You will often see them smell their child's head. It is a form of expression and affection. Scent is through the nose, located between the eyes and mouth on the head, and a direct link to the brain. The taster. There's a beautiful picture of a woman with eyes closed over food, picking up a square of food in a sensual way. And the title is called The Super Tasters. The mouth function is the first dominant sense used at birth. Immediately a baby begins to feed long before being able to focus their eyes on objects. The ability to suckle at birth is an inherent action of survival. When a baby begins to receive new foods to explore from 3 months on, their taste buds stimulate conscious awareness of different tastes. Some of these babies will have a stronger taste sense and be able to differentiate flavors. Many of those with this ability become tasters of fine wine and foods to classify them in the industry, or become critics of them for the benefit of others. However, it is the sense of smell that activates the taste buds. The taste buds are in the mouth on the surface of the tongue, located in the head close to the brain. Most babies are born with the gift of training their mental patterns to process information to fit within their social structures. This suggests that they learned the conditioning of those in their surroundings. I call this environmental influence. It is a lifelong influence that is passed down to future generations. It's taken for granted. When this thinking behavior is taken for granted, it doesn't include insight, especially if the educational system guides them using the same pattern. The person sitting in meditation is retraining themselves not to attach to the random thoughts and reactions that are arising. This begins to create a gap between the thoughts that leave space for silence. It is the silence that recognition unfolds, and one begins to recognize who they are outside the social conditioning of their family, friends, peers, etc. It is a profound experience to tap into the real person inside the layers of conditioning and trying to belong and be what others want you to be. The thinker. There's a picture of a head with hair and colored bubbles at the end of the hair strands waving in the environment. The label, the intellect. Thinking is not a sense. Often it is confused with the ability to hear, using the term auditory. However, thinking is a separate inner function for processing information that has been learned through social conditioning. Anyone using auditory to describe thinking is minimizing the ability to hear sounds, separately from the ability to think and obtain memories from which to understand and process information. Thinking is also a separate function from seeing, smelling, touching, and tasting. However, thinking puts thought forms into statements that often reflect belief systems, opinions, and perspectives. These beliefs, opinions, and perspectives are taken from long and short-term memories of past experiences and learned conditioning of our individual and unique social and cultural conditioning. Mindfulness through thought patterns. Coming out of the shadows of projections into the lighter qualities of present moment clarity. Coming out of the shadows of projections into the lighter qualities of present moment clarity. Memories are the past that shapes thinking patterns in the present and future. Thinking in the present through the experience of the fantastic five senses and expressed somatically, not thought projections, can be conscious awareness in the moment that redirects and retrains thought focus. The fantastic five senses can be focus of attention for determining the values, needs for creating the future, using intention to create motivation. These fantastic five somatic archetypes are at the core of Inside Awareness Center's Integrative Learning programs. These programs are somatic dialogues, somatic movement and function, somatic spaces, with support programs that are environmental influences in relationships, behaviors, and functions. Visit Inside Awareness pages, Learn with Us, Life Areas, or Contact. Follow us on our socials: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X, Pinterest, and Tumblr. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this content, and if you do, please follow or like, and I'll catch you on the next one.